Israel's bombing of Gaza apartment buildings could be a war crime, human rights groups warn.
Here's a summary of the article.
Israeli airstrikes have targeted and leveled multiple apartment buildings in Gaza amid escalating violence in the region this week, and top human rights groups have warned these actions could amount to war crimes. B'Tselem, a leading Israeli human rights group, in a tweet said, "Bombing apartment towers, which are not a military target and leaving dozens of families homeless, is a war crime." Rights groups also say this can qualify as a war crime. Israel has a deplorable record of carrying out unlawful attacks in Gaza, killing and injuring civilians, including war crimes and crimes against humanity, Higazi said. Such attacks, which are inherently indiscriminate and endanger the lives, homes, and properties of tens of thousands of Israeli civilians, are war crimes. Omar Shakir, the Israel and Palestine director at Human Rights Watch, wrote on Tuesday. Human Rights Watch has documented the regular use of excessive and vastly disproportionate force by Israeli authorities, including deliberately targeting civilians or civilian infrastructure, over the past decade and even before, Shakir said. The International Criminal Court's top prosecutor has warned that she's monitoring the fighting for potential war crimes, on top of continuing investigations into possible violations from previous flare-ups in the conflict between Israel and Palestinian militant groups.
This post received a score of 27,000, with an upvote ratio of 80%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Man, just rename it to Geneva Suggestions. No one follows the Geneva Convention.
Geneva loosely worded guidelines.
The Geneva, come on, guys.
The Geneva, just don't do it again.
The Geneva, we'd really rather you didn't.
The Geneva, could you not?
The Geneva PLS, no.
The Geneva, can't we all just get along? Pleading face, right finger, left finger.
The Geneva, kumbaya.
Gaza Strip was getting bombed. Obama didn't say shit. That song is from 2010. Same shit, new president.
Words I never said, Lupe fiasco.
That video is eerie as hell with the face masks. Also, is that one of the first music videos where the artist uses a QR code for a promo?
It could be a war crime, it definitely is, but it also could be.
I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to, too.
Rip Mitch.
I was on shrooms when I made that comment. I still am, but I also was, too.
Mix it with a little ketamine and get a nitrous tank for maximum WTFs.
Read the article. Israel's deliberate leveling of apartment buildings could amount to war crimes, rights groups say. Israel has a deplorable record of carrying out unlawful attacks, Amnesty International said. These groups say Hamas rocket attacks on civilian areas in Israel could also constitute war crimes.
Now the question is, do two war crimes make a not war crime?
Two war crimes make a war happy, obviously, yes.
Could be.
Well, it wasn't their apartment that got bombed.
Shouldn't it be a war crime to launch missiles from the building or store missiles in the building?
It is.
And the issue is they don't care. It makes it hard to combat the terrorists effectively. Would you rather sacrifice people who are effectively harboring enemies or possibly your own countrymen? IDK the answer, but it's not so black and white as it seems based on the headlines you see here.
No, it's not that they don't care. They intentionally put them in residential areas, so the headline will be, Israel destroys apartment building.
Right, I meant they don't care about following the conventions. Agreed though.
Are these the same apartment builds with rockets on the top firing at civilians?
Yes. The ones that also are given a warning to evacuate. Watch videos of the airstrikes. You see the first explosion, then 2 seconds later additional ones. The additional ones are the weapons exploding.
Saw that on our combat footage.
It is, but nobody is going to do anything about it.
And America will keep throwing money at Israel regardless.
Regardless, Israel is doing exactly what the US told it to do. If anything, this is a point of pride for our government.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.